Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's team news reaction time ahead of Liverpool's Premier League clash this evening against Leicester City. Ste and Errol with you all night. We've got you covered from every single angle. We are about 5 minutes away from Liverpool's team being announced for this game. There are a couple of rumours going around that we might be able to address, but before we get to those, straight off the bat, we've got a £10 super chat in here from Imran Adam. Thanks Imran, who says, after watching the first fixture in the Leicester end at the King Power, covering up the LFC logos on my wheelchair with tape, and then listening to them shout shit about us, we better beat these twats. Imran, I love the power. Straight off the bat, you've made me swear a couple of times straight away, but I'm all for it. I'm with you, man. Let's make sure Liverpool, we owe these one. Fact for you, no team has ever beaten Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool twice in the same Premier League season. The last time a team beat us twice in the same season was when it was Man United and West Ham did it in the season Jurgen arrived, but two of those games were against Brendan Rodgers. So Leicester are trying to become the first team to that, and it's our job, as Imran says, to stop them. Errol, I'm going to address some of the rumours then.
Yeah, let's do it.
The rumours are that Luis Diaz is going to get his first ever Liverpool start.
Okay.
That Mo Salah is going to be on the bench. Obviously, you haven't played such a lot of football. That's the rumour that's going around right away. And also that we are going to see the return of Thiago Alcantara to the starting lineup as well, with Harvey Elliott also on the bench. So they're the rumours going around. We'll confirm these in about 4 minutes' time, but they're the rumours that we're hearing so far. So if that is the case, you're excited to see a little bit of Luis Diaz?
Yeah, absolutely. We was just in the group chats earlier today, and one of the lads sent a picture of Diaz there with a fresh trim.
Yeah, he went for a new haircut, yeah.
Yeah, so he was like, he's defo starting if he's getting a fresh trim already. So based on his logic, I was like, you can't really argue against that. No. So no, definitely excited to see what he's about. We was, back and forth talking with these South Americans. What mould is he going to be like after the way he fell down the other day and the landing that he had? I think everyone's heart was in the mouth for a moment. And I think in my mind, definitely the sentiment in the group chat was, we hope he's going to be a little bit more robust. The South Americans are either going to come in the form of Suarez or Neymar. There's not much middle ground. And I hope we've got the former in Suarez there, you know what I mean? So absolutely. I am very excited to see what kind of package he is for us tonight. And I think he's just he's an unknown quantity again. So Leicester had our number in the last game. I still think we beat ourselves, but they had our number. Being able to draw for him at this stage of the season right now, it's an unknown quantity, and I think that just shows the squad strength at the minute, and it's nice to see. Yeah, man. If that team news is right though, again with Jota, Bobby, and maybe Diaz, I think is what the rumour was. Like if someone's got to play out on the right hand side. I'm guessing it could be Diaz. Like, would it be Jota? Would it be for me? I don't know how he'd work that one out. I mean, he might just say to Diaz, go and do a job there. Jota's done it a few times before, but it does feel like they're both lads who want to play on the left. And Sadio Mane, when he's back as well, he also wants to play out on that left-hand side. Jurgen's got decisions to make, starting with tonight. Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at it, I think Jota has played on the right a couple of times, but I don't think he's had his best performances for us from the right-hand side. Bobby, we know where we need to play Bobby if we're going to try and get the best out of him. He has to be in the middle. He has to be down that middle. He has to be that focal point for us. Even if he's not an architectural focal point, he still he knits it all together. He brings the wide players into play a lot. He's got very good passing range, you know what I mean? Sometimes it can be a little bit off and he can undercook things, but when he's all singing and all dancing, Bobby Firmino is absolute class. It will be interesting to see. I noticed when we seen him, his brief little cameo the other day, it was he was very much drifting across that front line. He didn't really stick to that left.
No, you're right. Yeah,
he just wanted to get about. He wanted to get amongst it all.
Even when he gets injured, he's in the middle of the pitch, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So I think Klopp might have seen that and think I could probably get away. He can probably get away with that for 2-3 games. And then I'll rein him into how I want him to play that left-hand side for the team. So that might be a little thing. There might be a little bit more fluidity. They might just kind of rotate between themselves. But either way, it's an exciting prospect. And the other big man's name that you mentioned there, Thiago Alcantara, coming back into the cut as well. Mate, this Leicester team are in for a hard night tonight.
You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Like say Fabinho's back as well. Obviously, he didn't play the weekend because he'd been away on Brazil duty. Alisson's the same as well. We're expecting be amazed if either of those two don't start. No. So yeah, it looks like Liverpool. And again, I did the starting 11 prediction show earlier in the week. I think it was yesterday afternoon actually, and it was so hard to even make a bench. Like there was lads not in the squad that I was thinking, oh my God, I would really like to have him around. Or like,
let me guess who was in your squad: Ox, Gomez, and Origi.
They were like Origi wasn't. Mane wasn't because he's away.
Right,
Henderson,
yeah.
we think, might have a knock. But yeah, there's 3. And then even so, the bench was so strong. I was thinking, Jurgen, now the team are ready, touch wood, if everyone can stay fit and healthy to have a real run at this. Like, the starting 11 is out now. So, Errol, I've got it here for you.
Perfect.
It's in fact, I'll leave it there for you, and I'm going to head on over to the board.
Yeah, you do that.
If you want to read it out,
I'll read it through. So, everybody at home tonight, starting 11 for the game is Alisson in goal. Fantastic. So, he's back from his duties. We've got Alexander-Arnold there, back in his right-back position. Joel Matip is going to be next to him with Virgil van Dijk next to him as well, and Robbo in that left-back spot. And then it looks like we've got Fabinho there holding. Jones has been given a nod in today's selection, so that might be a bit of a talking point for you in a bit, Steve, when you get a chance to get everybody's faces up on the board. Thiago's in there as well, and yes, I can confirm the big man, the new guy, the little dancer, Luis Diaz, is making his Premier League debut for Liverpool tonight against Leicester. Jota and Firmino all start. The subs are there, but the font is that tiny and I'm that blind, I can't see who's in the subs. So bear with me 2 seconds because I'll look on the laptop. So we've got Kelleher, Konate, Milner, Keita, Salah is on the bench, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Minamino, Tsimikas and Elliott making up the subs bench as well.
Right, then you can come over to me now, Joe. Thank you very much. As Errol's just read it out there, we've got the team on the board that we think it's going to line up. I'd love you guys to let me know in the comment section in the live chat if you agree with this. But like I say, we've got Alisson, we've got Robbo, we've got Van Dijk with the captain's armband, Joel Matip returns, and Trent Alexander-Arnold is in there as well. No surprises on the back 5, really. Fabinho, I'm guessing Thiago plays in the right with Jones on the left. I'm guessing that's what he'll try and do. Jones has played a lot from the left, really. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the case. If it is, and then up front, I've gone Jota left, Firmino centre, and Diaz right. But again, it could very well easily swap over and be Jota on the right with Luis Diaz on the left. I don't really know how it's going to work yet. Again, let us know in that live chat, guys, what you think's going to happen. Who's going to be on either flank? I'm pretty certain it'll be Bobby Firmino down the middle. And like I say, look at the Liverpool substitutes bench then. We've got Kelleher, Konate, there's Minamino, we've got Tsimikas, Milner, Ox, Keita, Elliott, and the return of Mohamed Salah. That is a stronger Liverpool bench as we've seen for quite a while. And obviously, look at the players. You can't see them down here. I've got Gomez not even in the squad. Origi, Henderson, Mane not even in the squad. My goodness gracious me, Liverpool have got themselves an amazing squad here to hopefully go on an amazing run between now and the end of the season. There are still 4 cups up for grabs, and the journey hopefully towards maybe clawing Manchester City back in an epic title race starts tonight, and Jurgen's got a lot of options to go for. Errol, what are the live chats saying in terms of where do you think everyone in terms of those wingers are going to be playing, my mate?
Okay, so we've got Sinan Cook says Diaz because he's ace. We've got Joel McCormack, he's come back with the chat that says Curtis Jones, masterclass is incoming. Smoking Red says Jota on the right. Asking Diaz to play right wing is asking a lot from the new lad. That's Kyle Rate. We've got Hendo's got back trouble from Daniel Buttery, so we'll have to see if that gets confirmed soon. I'm sure there will probably be a tweet in the next couple of minutes just to give us a little bit of an update on that. Someone says Harvard says it might be more of a 4-4-2 with Jones on the wing. It'd be interesting to see how we line up tonight, to be honest. We've got options to kind of to tweak it in game. I think it'll be quite a fluid formation.
I suppose we're sitting here and we're Liverpool fans and we've watched this team. How many times have we sat in the studio this season and watched the team? Plenty. And we don't know. Like, Brendan Rodgers is sitting there now thinking, I wonder who's left. I wonder who's right. In terms of the midfield, there's Curtis more left, there's Thiago on the left. They're in their dressing room an hour before kickoff. Sweating. But they don't know. They know the 11. Bro. They know the 11, but they've got no, like, if you're James Justin or Thomas, who are playing fullback, and we'll get you the Leicester side shortly, by the way. If you're that, you're thinking, I don't even know what I'm up against there. No. Thomas is going, am I up against Jota? And am I up against Jones? Or am I up against Diaz? Or am I up against Thiago? They're not going to have a clue. It's a rarity you get that for Liverpool, because usually when the 11 goes out, we know exactly where they're going to be on the pitch.
Look how strong that 11 is. Mo Salah, Sadio Mane aren't even in it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know
the captain's not even there?
The captain's not even in it. Like, do you know how long we've waited as Liverpool fans? And I can imagine even Klopp is probably absolutely over the moon at this point. In terms of keeping a season as intact as we possibly can. And, people can say we're literally on the cusp of being out of a title race. I'm not arsed. We're still in 4 cup competitions right now as it stands. And the fact that he's just reinforced this squad, the fact that we've got players coming back from injury and we can field the squad like that, it is going to be such an interesting, the last 10, 12, 15 games of the season are going to be mouth-watering from a Liverpool fan perspective because there's still so much at stake. I am looking forward to seeing how we kind of line up today because I think Leicester are in a real rut at the moment they've had a bad run of form. I did a preview with Grizz the other day as well, which was sick. And in that preview, we had the Leicester fan there, and he was basically telling us, look, we haven't been our usual selves. We are looking really under strength at the moment. They've lost more games this season than they've won. He feels that the wheels are falling off. He basically did a poll on his Twitter through his channel, and it was, I think at the point of time that he did it, 80% of Leicester fans themselves thought it was time for Rodgers to go.
Yeah, and I was on Leicester Fan TV, and obviously we had Leicester Fan TV on our channel, a bit of our house, your house kind of thing on Redmen Plus, and basically it was a similar thing. It was like there's a lot of anxiety around Leicester, a lot of upset. There was talk of players like not playing for the shirt, and Rodgers called a few of them out.
Yeah,
so we're going to bring the Leicester team up now actually because your mate isn't even on the pitch. He's one of those who've been left out. Or good old Gilly Tillemans, but starting in goal. Then we've got Kasper Schmeichel, the captain, in goal. He had an amazing performance when we played them. Yeah,
it was like Jekyll and Hyde. The cup game was awful.
Yeah,
and then that game he just stood up like a man, like 10 foot tall.
He did. Yeah, a back 4 of James, Justin, Marty and Didi and Thomas. So again, they've got no recognised centre backs. They've got the same centre back duo who kept us out at their place, but they are midfielders. A midfield of Marco Brighton, Dewsbury Hall comes back in alongside Suamare and James Maddison. Adama Luckman, who got the winning goal at the King Power between these two sides, and then Patson Daka up front.
It's pace.
It looks for 5-1ish. It looks like it's going to be 4-2-3-1 with Luckman and probably all Brighton wide with Dewsbury Hall, Samara and Maddison in the middle. It looks like that's what they're going for. And I'll bring their subs bench up. Sorry, Joe, if you can bring that back up for me, please, my mate. Their subs bench then. Ward, he bombed out Sionku. They've got Vestergaard on the bench as well. Ricardo's on the bench. Chowdhury. Tielemans has been benched. Barnes, Perez and Iheanacho. And Brendan Rodgers did say in the cup game, there's a few lads here who need to prove their worth, Errol. He's made some big calls. He's gone with a bit of youth. He's through a team very similar to the one that played against us. Dewsbury Hall had a good game. That game, I say, Luckman comes on and plays well. They haven't got Jamie Vardy, which is a blow for them. But they haven't called his players out. If Brendan is in last chance saloon, what he's done, he's put his faith in youth, and he's gone to the lads, right. My experienced pros, you let me down at the weekend, that you're out, and I'm going to go with the young side. Justin, Thomas, Dewsbury Hall, Luckman isn't that long, but he's relatively fresh still. Yeah, that's what he's gone for, hasn't he? He has tried to freshen it up, if nothing else.
Yeah, and I think from the conversations I had earlier in the week, the Leicester fans couldn't have predicted that. They just didn't have a clue what kind of lineup that he was going to go with, but his approach there seems to be one of youth and a little bit of pace, really. Obviously, the likes of Maddison, he's kind of got that dead ball quality. He's good from outside of the box as well.
He's always got a worldie in the cup game.
Yeah, so he has got that level of quality about him. Luckman scares me just because of how direct he can be and how quick he is down those channels. And the same for Dax and Pata, really. I know I haven't seen... Pata, I've done it again.
Someone get that clip.
What is it with me and Leicester City fans?
Someone timestamp that. What do you just call him? Packers and data? It sounds like a data corporation, like an evil empire. The Packers and Data's coming together.
Oh, God.
Gilly Tillemans and Packers and Data all playing up front.
All wrapped up in one. But yeah, he frightens me, mate. Absolutely frightens me. Oh, God,
Packers and Pata.
I don't do it on purpose. That's the flaw, mate.
That's classy. Mate, we should just jib you off the Leicester games. But yeah, man, Dax and Pata. I love Dax and Pata. Sounds like something you maybe spread on some toast. A nice bit of Dax and Pata. I feel like I'm throwing you off there because you're in the midst of a really good point. You are right. What they've gone for Daka and they've gone for Luckman. So counter-attacking football, and also they're going to try and target probably Trent. That's where the goal comes from. They're going to try and get him in the last game, doesn't it? Yeah. They're going to try and attack down their left, and like I say, Luckman got that goal. I agree. I think that's the threat, isn't it? That they're coming to hit us on the break. They're going to try and be relatively solid and go bang, bang, bang if they can. Mm-hmm. It's up to Liverpool to just be switched on wise. And that, I imagine in that case, it's Fabinho who's got a big old job on his hands once again.
Yeah, but it's great that we've got him back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the fact that like he can come back in and just be that shield. I know he didn't get the FA Cup game the other day, and neither did Alisson. So these lads will be, excited themselves to kind of see what's this new lad about. They'll have trained with him for a couple of days, and I think that's where we need to just make sure that we get a good defensive stability, command, kind of stamp our authority on the game and not even give them a sniff. If we can do that, and I genuinely think, I've already got my score prediction in my head, I genuinely predict we absolutely turn these over tonight because we owe them one. And I think now we've got new signings and we're starting to bed them in. We've got players that are going to be coming off the bench now even hungrier to impress when they get their minutes. I think we make a big statement here tonight.
Absolutely right there. I tend to agree with you there, mate. Big night for Trent Alexander-Arnold making his 150th Premier League appearance for Liverpool. He's 20-odd. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's scary how many games that kid's going to end his career with, having played for us. It's probably going to begin with like a 6, 7 or an 8. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So shout out to Trent. Hopefully we can have another Trent Alexander-Arnold masterclass. And you referenced the subs bench there, and I would like to bring it again to the fore here. I've got it here on the screen for those watching at home. There are options aplenty. First of all, Mohamed Salah, just obviously the best player, having the best player in the world to call upon if you need him is never a bad thing. In terms of attacking options, Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Minamino, and Harvey Elliott as well. In terms of your defenders, there's Konate. You've got the ever-reliable James Milner. He can come on and do whatever job you need him to do at the point in time. Kostas Tsimikas there as well as full-back cover. That is as good a bench as we've ever had for a long time, man. And bear in mind, mate, when Sadio's back and when Jordan's fit, you're probably dropping Minamino's going to fall out of there somewhere, isn't he? Milner's probably falling off that bench as well. Joe Gomez, it can't even make this. It is absurd. The strength and depth is scary good for what is going to be a big run in.
Did you ever watch the film? Is it Goon? That film where the guy's the hockey guy and he just gets brought on to just like that's literally James Milner's role now. Like, you are going to be our enforcer in the team. Like, we've got 20 minutes to see out a game. Just run round, pick up a yellow card, take someone out, take the sting out of the game. Like, that's what he's for. And the fact that our bench is eventually now got to the point where it is as strong as it is, it's just credit to the fact that Klopp's been patient. Yeah, he's not forced it. He's not like dipped into the market out of desperation to just kind of, we was rumoured with a lot of players over the summer. Yep. Like, there was a lot of rumours, there was a lot of buzz going around the last 2 summers really, and he's been very selective over the individuals that he's bedded in and he's known. We only need 3-4 more individuals to keep us at the level that we're at, get them at the right profile, age profile, hope that they've got the type of ceiling that we'd want to expect from them, and that they can start to force their way into the starting 11, because if those players force their way into the starting 11, it strengthens our starting 11, and then the 11 that was quality and was good, they can drop down into the bench, and then when you need to draw from somebody else or draw for somebody else, you've still got quality starting options there with fresh legs off the bench. It's a bit of looking at it with hindsight now, it looks like a masterstroke. We will be able to see how big of a masterstroke it actually is come the end of the season. Yeah, and what it will do as well, Errol needs talking about, is that you have to perform now, because there's someone equally as good as you, and most players on that pitch know there is someone equally as good waiting to take your spot. Like, the only ones who you'd say like probably not, that doesn't apply to Trent and Salah,
maybe Virgil, maybe the goalie, but like even if Mo Salah has 2 bad games, listen, you're not going to bring in a player who's as good as him, but you can easily say to Mo, right, I'm sorry, but I'm playing one of Sadio. He
could look burnt out. Do you know what I mean? He could come back. There's nothing saying that he can't come back after the amount of minutes that he's played in the last 3 weeks. He could come back looking burnt out for a week or 2, and Klopp could look at him and think, do you know what? You need a little bit of time off. I'm not going to take you out of the match day squads, but I need you just on the bench. I need you to just kind of get your head back in focus, analyse the games for us again, and we'll go again, towards the second Champions League tie or something like that. He could forecast it at that point and say, that's where I need you most, at your best. So how do I get that? I'm going to reserve you for the time being. But that to us now, it looks like a luxury, because we've never been in that position. Every time we've had to field Salah or Mane, it's because we need a result today. And yous are going to be the lads that normally carry us to our results. So we can't afford to drop that level. It's been too significant of a drop off.
I thought he was going to play, but it makes perfect sense. He's been to 3 extra time games with Egypt, and he's only just flown back as well. So I can understand why Liverpool are being cautious with Mohamed Salah. Hopefully they'll try and get the game won without him and just give him that rest. And if they can't and they need him, if you need to get half an hour out of him, then the man's a machine. I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine. What do you make of Leicester? They have got 2 centre-backs on their bench. They've got Sionku and they've got Vestergaard on their bench. And yet they're going with 2 essentially holding midfielders at the back. They are the 2 that played against us in the last game. Did a pretty good job. But like I say, in Armati and in Ndidi, they are essentially playing... They're doing what Liverpool did last January, but they're choosing to do it. They're choosing to play centre-mids at the back rather than the lads they've got. It is a big call for Brendan, that.
It is, but based on form, they're the lads he can rely on.
Yeah, Solanke's been a joke.
He has been piss poor for them, and I don't think that Vestergaard's worked out as a signing at all for them. And I think I think he was the player that Rodgers gambled on himself in terms of, I want to sign him, and that gamble's not paid off. So now I feel like he's kind of got to just take it. Do you know what I mean? He's got to take the loss on that one and just say, do you know
when
what?
When they lost Fofana, I think they were scrambling around and they went and got someone who they could get, and they ended up getting Vestergaard. And I think there was a clue that Southampton were happy to let him go. Yeah. That close to the start of the season, Southampton were close to letting him go.
Yeah.
I think you're right, mate. I think in terms of the fact that basically he doesn't trust them. He can't trust them because he's gone to Anfield and not picked him. Yeah. He's their new signing. Sionchu's been a shell of himself, the same kind of thing as well. He has basically gone. It feels to me like I don't think desperation is the right word, because I'm not sure it's desperation from Rodgers. I think it's looking for a reaction.
It's a trust thing.
And if it works out for him, he buys himself
a little bit more time.
Yeah. And if it goes wrong, well, he couldn't trust the other lads anyway. So he's kind of threw all his chips on the table there.
Yeah, exactly. And from that perspective, it's a free hit, because you look at it and say, well, I'm playing in defence with 2 CDMs. And what more was you expecting if we get smashed? It looks a lot worse if he puts the lad that he's gambled on and said, I want Vestergaard in there, and then Sionchu's next to him, and then you sit there and they get absolutely slapped tonight by us potentially, and the board are looking at him in the morning saying, well, what's going on there? You played your lad, you backed your boys let you down. Why should we have any more faith in you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it looks as if it's like, well, here I have to the board. I've been telling you we haven't got the calibre of players that we need. This is why I'm in the position I'm in, playing centre mids in defence. Yeah, and I think that's probably, as you said, it might give him a little bit more of a grace period, simply because they might look at that and kind of, not pity him, but you know what I mean, kind of be a little bit more understanding to the cause.
Yeah, I'd be right there. I think it was Radboot says, it was 4 extra times. I said 3 for most times. It was 4. He essentially played 4 extra 30 minutes, didn't he? Yeah, he's played a lot of football, which explains that. And then finally, I want to go to the... Joe, can you bring the Discord chat up there for us? Our good friend Chris has changed his name in your honour. Daxon Patter. We've got Dak, and then Jack says Tilly Gillimans and Daxon Patter. Hopefully we don't get killed by either of those two. Mate, the internet is undefeated. You cannot say anything on this channel, and it will, honestly, the internet is absolutely undefeated.
That's it. Oh,
before we go then, Errol, in fact, no, what I'll do, for those of you who aren't aware, in about 42 minutes time, Errol and I will be going live with our watch along. So shortly we'll be ending this stream, and then we'll have the live watch along for Liverpool versus Leicester kickoff at 7:45 UK time. Again, if you haven't ever watched the Redmen TV watch along before and you're thinking, why do I need to join you guys? Why shouldn't I just watch it on the telly like I always do? Why are you telling me to do it? Well, check this out and you'll see for yourself exactly why you should join us for the show.
Hey everyone, welcome. I'm your host Ross Channing.
We're going to guide you through the whole of Liverpool versus Arsenal with our completely 100% biased commentary. It's Liverpool 1, it's Arsenal 0. Fuck off. What the fuck's that? Do these people know the fucking rules of football, Errol? Because he's pissing me off. That is absolutely glorious.
The backspin on it though, look at the backspin. Oh, what? It doesn't hit the floor. Oh!
Offside?
Oh! Oh!
The goal has been ruled off for offside.
Amazing.
Yeah, so there you go. If you are thinking of joining us, that is exactly why you should do it. The highs, the lows, hopefully more highs than lows, and probably a little bit of me swearing as well. Apologies in advance if that's what happens. I can't help myself. I love the Reds so much and I get emotionally invested in it. Shout out in the chat then to David Long, first team member, who says, could a spanking tonight cost Brendan his job? We've both spoke to Leicester fans in the last 48 hours or so, Errol, and both of them were unhappy against a small sample size, but from what we've seen around socials as well, having just got absolutely snotted by local rivals Forest in the Cup, the fact that they are mid-table in the league, having finished fifth twice in a row as well, they just surrendered their FA Cup in horrendous fashion. It feels like he is under pressure, and if they got well beaten tonight, like it could be the end of Rodgers at Leicester.
I don't think he goes in the morning if we spank him, and that's just my personal opinion. I think the time is coming up. If at the end of the day, if they finish their season in 10th, they'd probably have that conversation and say, you know what, thank you for your service, thank you for what you've done, but we're going to part ways at this point. I think they probably wouldn't choose to jump ship this end of the season because there's nothing left for them to play for. Yeah. So let's just make sure that we finish in the top half. They're in a not, I wouldn't say a luxury, but they're in an advantage to them is that they can look at forecasting. Let's plan properly for next season. If we're not going to have Brendan at the helm, who can we get in? Let's start putting some feelers out. Let's start talking to agents. Let's start seeing what type of players a new manager might want or might want to get rid of, so they can kind of get all the ducks in a row and still have somebody as a figurehead keeping a steady ship. And if they need to press the trigger, they can do it. If they don't, then, you know, they've still got the man in job that they want, quote unquote.
My thinking is, I don't think any manager should ever, if you go to Anfield and lose, I'm not sure that should be the thing that costs you your job, because you shouldn't really be expected to. I don't think any board, other than like 3 or 4 teams in Europe, should expect their team to go to Anfield and win. I'll be honest, like, I don't think you should. I don't think you can expect to go to Anfield and not lose, because everyone loses, touch wood here. I don't think that should cost you a job. And also the fact that he played Burnley very, very quickly afterwards. I think if he lost here and then got beat at Burnley... sorry, not Burnley. They played the weekend, sorry, not Burnley. We're playing Burnley.
Yeah,
obviously they played the weekend, so they've got a game at the weekend. If they lose in quick succession 2 games, then that's where you're thinking, maybe that's what it is. Because I just think... It's really hard to say to a manager, well, we thought you were good, but then you went and got beat at Liverpool. It's home against Leicester they play. Home against West Ham they play on Sunday. I think if they lost here and then lost that one, I wouldn't be shocked if he wasn't in they got a Europa Conference League game on Thursday.
That's another tough one though, because
West Ham have, but I think losing at home on the back of a bad run, you can easily imagine the King Power being a bit toxic.
Yeah,
and that's what I think could get him. If they lose it, and then get beat by West Ham, which is very feasible at the moment, given how West Ham are playing as well and where they are in the league, I wouldn't be shocked if Brendan, again, he left us like it was third season syndrome, and it feels like that might be happening again.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I think when you put it like that, you can kind of see the writing on the wall for him, really. And as I say, whether it's the next 2-3 games or at the end of the season, it looks like Leicester might have to consider their options going forward and go again, really, and kind of have a little bit of a shake-up and a rebuild, because it's so hard to maintain that level of kind of momentum when you've been that close to probably overachieving in a lot of senses. But when it becomes a possibility, you reset your goals, don't you? You move the goalpost and think, all right, well, we're in with a shout of finishing top 4, so let's get it. And then you get knocked back and then you're like, right, let's go again. That's got to be hard to take. That's a bitter pill to swallow. So it might be the best case for everybody. Some players, manager, you know, the club in itself, it might be a case of, right, that kind of cycle has come to a bit of an end. We was able to get an FA Cup out of it. Let's go again and see if we can kind of get somebody else in to take us further forward.
Absolutely right. Then before we head off, then we've got Storm Shadow with his 50 NOK super chat. Says Klopp deserves a bigger, better and longer song than the chance he's got at the moment. Well, if you guys want to, feel free to think of a good Jurgen Klopp song, have a little think of it, keep it to yourselves, and then when we start to watch along later, if you feel free to bring anything up that you want, and me and Al can give it a little rating out of 10 for you. I quite like the Jurgen Klopp song. I actually don't think Jurgen Klopp likes having a song either. He always tends to say Liverpool fans used to sing it, and he used to always tell everyone to sing about the players instead. He doesn't like having a song. But yeah, feel free, if you guys want to make a song for the gaffer, by all means do so. Right then, Errol and I are going to head off now. We are going to get ourselves fueled and ready for the watch along. Like I say, 7:45 kickoff, so we will be going live on YouTube at 7:30. That's right, isn't it? I am right in saying I've got my times right there. So 7:30, about 20 minutes time. So go and get yourselves your drink, your food and everything you need to join us for the show. And we will see you then. Thank you very much. And I'll catch you for the watch along. Peace. Hey guys, thanks for watching that show. We are on the countdown to the League Cup final. Liverpool playing Chelsea at the end of February. And if you want to get some amazing content around that game, we have got you covered.
We have got exclusive interviews and documentaries all available in video and podcast form. So if you want to listen to us on the go, we have got you sorted.
Yeah, so do head on over to theredmentv.com, join up to Redmen Plus, and hopefully get yourselves in the mood for when Liverpool win the League Cup at Wembley.